Hello and welcome back to the V Jones Style channel. It's a Sunday here. I spent the entire day cleaning my house, and so I figured this was the best day that I could imagine to actually show you guys finally a little bit of what's inside of my house, especially some of my favorite little vintage and thrifted finds that are all throughout my house. You can actually go back and watch my very first home tour that I did. I'll put the link down below, and that is actually our home as of a few years ago. We have since then renovated our house, completely gutted, ripped out floors, walls, redid our entire kitchen, so you can get an idea of what it looks like before. And then today you're gonna get a little bit of an idea of what it looks like now. I was hoping to do a home tour when everything felt really buttoned up and done, because it does not feel like that right now. It feels very much like just the beginning of what I want things to look like, but I don't think that fully done house is coming for a really long time, and especially with the lockdown, I haven't been able to find a lot of new things, of course. I just decided that I don't need to wait to show you guys what it looks like. We renovated our house. I'm still figuring out my identity in my house. It's a completely new house. It feels different. So every room needs revamping in lots of different ways, and because I'm a hunter, I don't find everything all at once. Today is just going to be our current house and as it is now, and just know that I have a lot more plans that hopefully I can share with you guys along the way. Let's just hop into the little magical areas of my house. This is a table full of just a lot of collections of things that I've found and I love. You may remember that I got this when I was with Annette at the Rosebowl Flea Market. First thing already, buying this piece of art for my house. I love it so much. I'm so excited.
That is so nice.
And unique. Sometimes you just gotta grab those finds.
Yes.
And then these are just little knickknacks that I've found in thrift stores. When I went to Santa Barbara, I found a few of these from one of my favorite little local vintage shops. This is a shell that is put on a piece of wood. I can't believe I found this. This was maybe one of the last things that I found for my home right before everything happened. It was my last little thrifting trip, and I love the faces in this sculpture. I have different idea for what I want to be here, but because like I said, I am a hunter, I can't find everything just the way I want it when I want it. So this is my like temporary little table that's gonna be in the entryway. Eventually I'd love something really sculptural and amazing here. And then just what's down here is definitely not what I want, but that does catch all of our shoes. So that kind of works for now. But I do love this green color that we picked for the wall. This was a chalkboard wall, and now it's this really fun green, and I just felt like it popped with our house renovation. I saw a little teaser of this a few weeks ago, but my atrium has become the place where I feel the most happy right now. It's my little indoor-outdoor space, and we're actually in a few weeks gonna rip this all up and make it even more fabulous. But for now, this is our current state of the atrium. It's right off of our entry, and I always love doing work out here. I love having friends out here. When we first moved in, there was no ivy anywhere, and so this was one vine that has completely taken over the entire atrium. We have a really crappy shed back there, so for now we just have these curtains hang over it. A few pieces of furniture. We still want to do more with this space, but it is comfortable and it works for now. And this, of course, is a fun little rug. This was a Target find, but I actually found it at the Goodwill here, and it is funny because when I first bought it, it felt more traditional and classic, and now I think the green and white checkered feels whimsical and playful, and it totally works with the green that I have going in my house. So let's leave my happy place, the atrium, and let's go in to my living room. This is my living room. So many of the pieces here are pretty much what were here in the original home tour video, but this is my favorite art collage that I have. These are all different pieces that I found at thrift stores over the last 15 years of my life. This was our central piece of art, and then I think I also found this one. So those two. And once I had these two big pieces, then it was about finding pieces that would complement it. So that is helpful when you are searching for a collage, just finding that centerpiece that you're gonna work with and then working from there. For me, it was about the color palette. I wanted to find similar pieces that would work all together with the entire art gallery. This couch is a story. I found this on Craigslist. It was $300, which is crazy. I think, you know, usually couches like this are about at least $1,500. And I have to say, having more of a leather like this with kids has really worked out well. It wears and tears pretty nicely, and not having like a fabric that I have to worry about spills is nice. Eventually, I'd like to get a new couch, but this has really worked out well, and I really love this shape. I never thought I wanted a sectional, but I love that we could just seat a ton of people and have a great party, and everyone has somewhere comfy to sit. For me, a rug is actually the anchoring part of a room, and so this rug I found at an antique mall. The guy was selling these things for nothing. I think I got this for like $150. It's an 8x10. And as you can see, all of these colors were the determining factors for the different pieces that I wanted to find in the room. Example of that were these chairs. I got these at the Long Beach Flea Market, and my hope when I went that day was to find two chairs with this color fabric. Crazy thing is, that's what these are. And this table was an addition right after our renovation. You'll see in our kitchen we have a lot of this black and gold. When I found this, it was $5. I loved it, brought it home, and then started a fun little collection on top. These are all little pieces again that I've just picked up at thrift stores along the way. This is actually one of my favorite pieces of pottery. I love the 3 holes here and just the detail of the marbleization on the pottery. I think it's so beautiful. I love the idea of having little collections, one being, you know, different shells that we've found over the years, and my kids are such ocean kids. They love the ocean. So it's fun to have, you know, ocean collections in our house. It's actually our family photo album with this piece of wood on top. I have a little tray that I found, and then a yummy smelling candle. Some of my coffee table books are A Rare Bird of Fashion, Iris Apfel, who's the queen of maximalism, personal style, and her travels. So this is always a great inspiration just to have sitting here on my coffee table that I can look through. And now that I'm looking through this, I need to spend some time with this. When we went to Santa Barbara, we went to so many thrift stores, and I just wasn't finding any home pieces. And usually when I go on little trips, I love to bring home pieces for my house. We went to this one store, and you can go back and watch the video. It's the Blue Door or something like that. It had so many amazing home decor pieces, but so many of them were out of our price range. We went to one more thrift store right after that. I don't know what it was, but they had a ton of home, and it was, once I'd gathered the inspiration from that more luxurious collected store that was curated, it was like I had more of a honed in eye, and I was able to find so many pieces. And one of them was this really incredible sculptural driftwood. And this was so much of what I was finding in that other store, and I could not believe that I found this. Also found this at that same store in 1970s glassware. It's gorgeous. I love to find pieces on trips because, I don't know, they bring home the story of the trip, the feeling of the trip. And so those two pieces were fun little finds from our recent Santa Barbara trip. The thing we did bring home from the fancy store was this mannequin head. I just thought it was fun. So this is just sitting on a gold little stool that is from Target. And two little collected pieces, this great little statue, and then more shells that sit inside these dishes here on this table. And while we're talking about the table, I forgot to mention, this was another great find. The same place that I found this table, I found this one with these, look at these little sculptured wooden figures on all the legs. Look at all of the detail here. This marble on top, it's gorgeous. It's so heavy, and I don't remember, it wasn't that expensive. I think it was half off, so I think I got it for like $30 or maybe $40. I'm gonna share a few of the pieces of art in my house, and I will say, since we renovated, one of the #1 things that I am constantly looking for is more art. This was found when we first moved in the house. It is actually a Picasso printed curtain that I found it in an antique store. We had it hung with a piece of wood on top into a mural because I just had to display the whole print. I love all the colors in it, the whimsy of it, the black and white, the little details. I love the pops of color. It's so inspirational. You could really just get dressed based off of this color story and print that is happening on this Picasso. This was another little find right before everything happened and the lockdown. I went out for a day of hunting and I went to a bunch of little antique stores, and this was one of the pieces that I came home with. It felt so serene and peaceful. I want to escape into that painting right there, don't you? And I'm so excited to show you this piece. This is just recently gifted to me by Steven Wilson. He's this incredible artist who does like embroidery and paint, textiles, photography, 3D sculpture. It's just gorgeous. And what he does a lot of times is he takes old designer boxes. This one is an Hermes, and then he does this incredible stitching and embroidery, and I fell in love with this piece. I love that it's a heart. Love these colors. I do think it would look amazing over here with these pieces, but I'm also interested in maybe putting it right here. This is one of my favorite pieces in my house. I found this on a hunting trip with my mom, and I love this girl. I just feel like there's a whole story happening here. Feels romantic. Let me know down in the comments, do you think it should go up here or up there above that piece of Picasso art? I'm not sure where, but I love it. We are now entering the kitchen. I feel like I should put away the Windex that's sitting out. And you guys have seen our kitchen in the kitchen renovation video that I did, so you could go check that out if you want to get more details on the actual kitchen. But I'll just show you some of the pieces around the kitchen that I love. One in particular that I'm looking at right now. Let me tell you the story of this table. I was on the hunt for a marble table and finding a marble table that wasn't crazy expensive, the size that I needed, and the colors that I wanted was not easy until I found this on Craigslist for $35. Let me show you guys. So this is the incredible table. I fell in love when I saw it on Craigslist. I fell in love with the grain that's in it and all of the colors. It felt so complimentary to the black and white happening in our kitchen. And then it needed the perfect chairs. Found these when I was with Annette at the Rosebowl Flea Market, and this was exactly what I was looking for. I'm finding my dining room chairs that I've been looking for. Kind of like a pink with a chrome base, and it looks so cute in this chair.
I'm testing it out.
How does it feel? How does it feel?
It's super comfortable.
My husband was out of town, which we usually like to make all those decisions together, and I just couldn't get a hold of him, and I bought them. I just had to do it. I couldn't help it. I had to buy them, and then I'm so glad I did. They are just the perfect chair. I love the rose pink in them, and actually it went so well with our rug. And then in terms of just decor here, putting these pots in a row here. These are all just collected and found over the years. And this is so funny. This was actually out in a garage. I was gonna get rid of it. And then if you can see, right behind here are little white hooks that we were using at Christmas time to hang our stockings on the fireplace. I've been wanting to find something amazing for the fireplace. You know, we were cleaning up the house, getting rid of things after Christmas, and then I pulled this from the garage and I just set it on there, and I was like, you know what? I kind of like that. Eventually, like I said, I'd love to find something really amazing, and I'm thinking a flea market. I will find something else to go there. This wall, there was a wall right here. We ripped that out, so now it's all open. We've got the living room, we've got the dining room, we've got the kitchen. And then it's really fun because this is kind of like a little gallery that I got to create right here. And I love taking the juxtaposition of something that's very 80s, which, hello, how fun is this one? It says forever, and oh, it just feels like me and my man. I love it. And then I love the idea of taking that very 80s piece and combining it with something that's very 70s. I love, one of my favorite things whenever I find art is when I see the person's name and when they made it. I think that's so fun. And then this was another find that felt kind of similar to that more 80s piece up here. Here's an overview of what the kitchen actually looks like in terms of actual collections in this room. This was also another piece that was found when we were in Santa Barbara, and the minute I found it, I fell in love. I want my art to speak to me, and this one spoke to me, so this was a really fun find. And then this was another one that was just a great little find on an antique hunting day. Fun little things here is I have this dish here that I always keep in my kitchen because, as you guys know, I'm always wearing my rings. And when I go to cook, I don't want these on. So I take them all off and I throw them in this dish. Moving over here, I have another piece of art that was a find. And then this was a piece that was found at the Long Beach Flea Market. And this is my messy little workstation. I sit here and I work there. This was also a piece of art that I found at the Long Beach Flea Market. It also feels very similar to the girl that's over there. Eventually, I have a lot more plans for this area, but this is what I have for now. And this is one of my favorite pieces and has been in my home for a really long time. It was hidden behind a couch, and I saw it kind of peeking up and I couldn't believe it. And again, you can go down here. This is what I love. Look at that, 1953. This was made, and look at the detail. It's old, I think, roses. There's gold. Well, let's see if we can get some of the gold. Gold little flecks. Whose flowers were these? Did they have a story to them? I love it. And then I love this lamp. I found this, the curvature of it, the globe, everything about it is so much fun, and I like having it just like right here, adding a little light. I'm very particular about the lighting in my house. I want lots of warmth and glowing happening. Oh, that kind of concludes the center of my home. I will share more as things get more complete. You can go back down that hallway, and my husband's office is down there, my kids' rooms are down there, and I have so much to do to all of those spaces. I will also do a master bedroom video and share with you guys, but there are a few more things that I want to find for that space before I do a video about it, and I'm hoping there's some hunting days coming sooner than later so that I can keep adding life and magic to my home. I'm really, really missing that. I don't know if you guys are, just the home hunting process. I feel like I'm always looking, and so the fact that I can't look right now is hard. But I will say something that this whole situation has taught me is to be so grateful for my home. It's made me appreciate our home so much. I appreciate all the moments that we've had in it, all the spaces that we fill, all the little things that we do and share together in all of the rooms. I really do love our home, and I feel like quarantine has made me love it even more, even though it's also made me want to change things up more, just because, you know, once you're in a space for a while, you're like, okay, I need a little refresh. Those are some of my favorite little vintage and thrift finds inside of the center of my home. So I hope you guys really enjoyed seeing the story behind each of those pieces. You need to let me know though where I should hang this, where you think this would go. So let me know down in the comments below. I'm gonna be hanging it pretty soon. I want your thoughts. That's it. Thanks for hanging out with me. It felt really good to have a clean house. It was the perfect day to take you guys inside my home and just show you a few of my favorite little vintage treasures. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Thanks for hanging out with me. Always play dress up, even in your home. I'll see you guys later. Bye.